I'm Jo and welcome back to the Knitting Bird. This is a place where I talk all about my knitting. I'm coming to you from a very dull day in Plymouth Devon, but half term's coming and apparently next week it's going to be really warm and sunny. It's going to be in like 20 plus degrees in the UK. Ah, I love the sun. I'm so looking forward to it. I cannot wait. So this week it's been really busy week, really fun. So let's get started. There's been lots of knitting happening. We'll get started. I'm just having a nice cup of tea. It's out of a different mug today. Yeah, the sun seems to be wanting to try to come out, so that'll be good if we can get some knitting done in the garden this afternoon. Lovely. So, where to start? I always start with socks. I think I'm going to start with my cardigan. And it's out of this bag that my daughter-in-law got me ages ago. Jo's knitting bag. It's just a long-handled tote bag. Oh, I must say also, sorry, what I'm wearing. So I'm wearing my logoed t-shirt. This was from Amazon about knitting. And this cardigan, because it's my only cardigan I've got at the moment, it's a lovely pattern. It's got leaf design all up the sleeves. It's a drop shoulder and it's a leaf pattern all up there. I really love this pattern. It's a 1980s pattern. My mum was knitting on it and I went, oh, I'd like to try that, and I loved it. It's seamed up, so you do the back, the fronts and the sleeves, and you seam it all up. It's a lovely flower leaf pattern. I'll see, I don't know if I'll be able to put the link below because it's so old, but I'll see, I can put a description of it in the down below in the description box. And I live in this at the moment because this is the only cardigan I've got. So on cardigans, this is the, the tote bag, Jo's knitting bag. I've got I've got 4 whips on the go, and actually I don't like it. It's stressing me out. I find it really, really difficult to manage 4 whips. So this is my cardigan of the Pouf, and this is coming on really well. It's a Merino Blend DK, which I've mentioned in previous Teary, it's called, with the neps in it. I love this yarn, but the only thing that I'd say is that I'm not a big fan of, they're only 50-gram balls, and I'm forever, it seems like forever, but I've gone through like 4 balls. I think this is my 4th ball now, and I just keep changing yarn all the time. But this is it. Oh, it's going to be oversized, which is what I wanted. And I found these new stitch markers that my husband bought me. I love knitting. Oh, let's see if I can get it and it focuses. So from there I've done about 2 inches, but it's coming on. It's just a mindless knit when I don't have to think about it. So I'm super happy with that. Love the colours. Simple knit. So that's that one. Really like that. It's done on 4mm needles. It's DK weight yarn. This Le Pouf, you're supposed to hold 2 4-ply yarns together to make like a fade effect, but I knit quite fast and I'm not very keen on to hold 2 strands together, because if I drop a stitch I've got to concentrate, and I'm not in the mood for concentrating, because obviously the Ganseys, I'm in concentration mode with that at the moment. So that's really good. I'm pleased. It's really good progress. The other thing that I've been knitting on, which you would have seen I hadn't done much, and this is another project bag that I got from my husband. He's retired from work now. And this is just like a navy blue tote bag. So this is the Besties hoodie. And here's the pattern of what it is. Different colours. I did go through it in the last video, so if you want to go back and look at that one. It's done on a 4mm needle, and then the ribbon's done on a 3.5. And I done all the short rows shaping, which you'll see that it goes, and then I've done this much of an evening. I can just, when we're watching, me and husband's watching the telly and there's nothing on, I can concentrate and do that. So you knit the back panel for 8.5 inches. I can't give too much away because it's a paid for pattern, but I knit it for 8.5 inches, which I'm nearly there. I think I'm like 7.5. The colour's really nice. It's an Aldi DK, an Aldi DK yarn, and I am trying to use up my stash because I've just got, I can't stop buying yarn. And as you'll see near the end, I will show you I've made another purchase as well. Yeah, super happy with that. So what happens is, this is the back panel to the armhole, I believe, and then this is the top, and then you pick up stitches here for the left front and then for the right front, and you knit them down to make the same measurement. So it will go around on your back. It will be a bit like this. So it's a drop shoulder hoodie, and then you pick up the stitches here and knit that down. This short row shaping, German short row shaping here, and then you do the same on the other side and knit that down, and then eventually you'll be just knitting it in the round, pocket placement and all that. So I've just been knitting on this. I don't mind the yarn. It is Aldi yarn, and as I said, I'm trying to use it up. It's very nylon-y. It's not as nice as the merino yarn, obviously, but it's okay. I'm using pony needles. I'm not these were the ones that I first learnt to knit it with. Even pony straight needles, my mum gifted them for me. And I prefer my Chowgo interchangeable. They're metal ones and they just glide through a lot quicker and easier, but they're okay. I haven't got, I only got one set of 4mm needles and cables, so I think I might have to invest in some more long cables and more 4mm needles. I'll have to have a look at that. So that's the Besties hoodie. So that's coming along, and that it's nice because it's a 100-gram ball, so I'm not having to keep adding balls of wool onto it. So that's that one. And we went out to see my father-in-law on Tuesday. He needed a haircut, so he doesn't drive anymore, so we took him out to get his hair cut, and I showed him that I'd finished one of his socks. This is the School of Rocks from Summer Lee. Basic sock pattern. Oh, I should have had my sock blockers. Here we go. It's an 80 stitch. An 80 stitch sock. It's 2x1 rib. I'll just do it per pattern. Heel flap and gusset. I did the length of the sock for 6 inches instead of 6.5, and then the foot is 8 1/4, so a big foot, men's foot. But like that, that's really good. Normal standard shaped toe, Kitchener stitch. The yarn is Merino Superwash. Merino sock, really soft and cozy. So that's Yarn Smith's, really good, and it's 400 meters, 75% merino wool and 25% nylon. I have started the other sock, so I tend to finish a sock and then start the second one straight away, so you don't get second sock syndrome. This is the colourway. Not much left of that. I'll have a little nugget left, I think, afterwards. And this is how much I've done. So as he went to go and get his hair cut, I stayed in the car. I knitted on the sock. Lovely views out there. He lives Ashburton in Devon, and it's just lovely rolling hills and sheep. So yeah, he asked me when will I get them finished by. So I'm hoping I get them finished for Father's Day, which is coming up soon. So that's that. But as I said, I'm a bit overwhelmed with how many projects I've got on the go. I normally just have one. When I first started knitting, I would just knit one item, do it, sew it up. This is before I was like knitting in the round. Finish it, job done, and then I would think, while I'm knitting that one, I think what I'd cast on for the next one. And when I did my husband's Gansey, I was knitting on that and maybe a chicken of a night time, or, you know, so I'd only have 2 items on the go. Now I've got 4. For me, it's overwhelming. I know a lot of other people have got a lot more whips on the go. I don't think I could handle that, because I'm stressing out that I'm knitting other things when I really should be knitting on the Gansey. So, oh, it happens, doesn't it? So yeah. So to Gansey, I've done so much. I have done a lot of progress. I don't feel like I've done progress. I feel like I need to do more, but there's only so many hours in the day, and I'm just not getting time on it. So it's gonna look a bit funky. So there's a lot of, you can see it's really big now. And I've got the front bit is now on hold. Or you knit on this now, on this front bit. Here we go. And you knit this for 9 inches now. I use a straight needle because a circular needle, because of the weight of the garment, the circular needle, I'm afraid it's gonna break. My husband's did when I was in the middle of doing the pattern in the round. And as you can see, there's the gusset. So that's been kept on hold now, and then this is just knit up. So this will become your armhole. so the 9 inches, so it's quite like a big armhole. So that's on hold, and then you've got your back panel. It's hard to show you. Your back panel's on hold, and then the other gusset is on hold. So basically I'm just knitting this front panel now, back and forth, right side, wrong side. So the right side you knit the knits and purl the purls, and then the other side's the opposite way around. I had so much trouble yesterday putting these stitches on hold. In a previous podcast I did say that I'm using this leave it on hold stitch holder. They're quite sticky, which is really good because it keeps the stitches in place, but what I was finding is as I was putting the cord onto the needle and pushing the stitches onto the needle, onto the cord, sorry, it was getting caught on the little bump where it goes onto the needle, and because they're so fine small stitches, it was just taking me ages to get it onto the holding cable. Yeah, I'm used to just putting a needle and thread through yarn and putting it through, so it was a bit of a challenge. I stressed myself out yesterday morning on it, but thankfully I can sit in the garden this afternoon and be able to put all and do quite a bit on it. I'll get into a rhythm of doing it and I'll be all right. But it is big now. Oh, I'm super happy with it. This is the I'm still on the first ball. It takes 1,100 grams, so I've got another 500 gram ball of this. It just doesn't seem to be going down. I know it is because it's getting all crinkly, and I know that's the end of the ball, and it's just getting, yeah. But with pattern and it's moss stitch in the middle, you're using a lot of yarn because you knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl, or it's double moss stitch, so you're always changing over to knit and purls all the time. So I know it warrants to have that amount. So yeah, that's my Gansey. So really happy with that. Yeah, and that is it. It might be quite a short one today. So a little bit of what's been happening this week in the life in Plymouth, down in Plymouth. Last week on the Wednesday, we went to my daughter's coffee morning to see how she's getting on at school. Oh, it was really nice to see her at school with friends and interaction and all of that. It was really lovely to see it. But before we went there, the car broke down again. You can't write it, can you? The clutch went, so we'd only had the car back 2 days, and then we got stuck on our roundabout near us. Couldn't write it. So we were late for my daughter's coffee morning. We ended up getting a recovery truck to go and take it back to the garage. They've paid for it all because it obviously had only been fixed 2 days previous to that. So yeah, so went out and done that. The car is now fixed and it is back. There was an issue with the a clip on the clutch or something. I don't know, I'm not very technical minded. So we did that, and then we went and had a bit of cake in a local garden centre and looked at the garden stuff and that. And come home and I sat and thought, I'll just do a bit of sock knitting before the school run. And my husband said, Joe, in a panic, come up here, I need you up here a minute. So I was like, what's the matter with you? And he went, you better go and pack your bag. I said, what? He said, we're going away to Bristol for a few nights. I went, you're joking me? And he went, no. And he booked it, bless him, in January. He'd gone out to Bristol with, when he was at work, they go on these union trips. And he was at Bristol, and there was a concert on the Thursday night of Beth Hart from America. Oh my God. I seen her about 6 years ago in Plymouth, and she is absolutely brilliant. Very, very good. Powerhouse. So we looked around Bristol on the Thursday during the day, and we went back to the hotel room. It was really lovely. Went back to the hotel room, did a bit of knitting, and we took the train up, so that was really nice. A couple of hours from here to Bristol on the train. And then we went out for a drink in the evening, and he said, oh, here, and give me a ticket. And I went, what's this for? And he said, well, have a look. And we were going into the theatre to watch Beth Hart. Absolutely brilliant weekend. My sister and son had Annabelle, my little girl, and it was just, he'd planned it all and worked it all out. So it was really lovely. I would like to go back. So we went on the Thursday, the Friday, and the Saturday morning, and then we got the train back. I think it was at 1:15. And I just sat and did some knitting on the way home. Got home, my little daughter was so pleased that I was home. I think she missed me a lot. She kept giving me hugs and kisses. So that was really nice, a nice welcome home. But it was just nice for me and my husband to get time together, and to just be able to not have to get up for the school run and sort out Annabelle and all of that. So it was really nice to get away. The last weekend was the big flock at Bristol, and I was gutted that we didn't have time to go and visit the big flock. A lot of podcasters that I watch, Ruth Loves to Knit, Franny Do Makes, I can't think of any more. There's quite a few that were going, and I was like, oh, I'm gutted that I couldn't go. We just didn't have enough time. It's not, we were in the centre of Bristol, and the big flock was just outside, about half an hour outside of Bristol, so we just didn't have time to be able to go and have a look. And I'm hoping next year I'll be able to go to the big flock. That would be really cool, wouldn't it? Oh. So on the Friday, I did say, oh, I'd really like to go to a local yarn shop, because what I want to try and do is, if there's a local yarn shop when we go on holiday or trips away, I'd like to get a ball of yarn for socks. For me, nobody else, they're going to be for me. And we went to this lovely yarn shop called No Frills Knitting Shop. Really lovely yarn shop. Lot of expensive yarn, but also a lot of like Rowan, and there was just a lot of lovely, the bloke that was there, lovely chap, was talking to me saying all knitters have, I said I'm knitting socks for somebody else, and he was like, yeah, well that's what happens with knitters, they always end up knitting for everybody else and they leave themselves out. You've got to learn to say no. And you know what? Yes, I'm going to say no every time someone says something now. I've got too much on the go. So I've never worked with this yarn before. Opal. It's called Mixtape. Oh, I love the colours. This is a bit of me, this is. I love purples and blues. So these are going to be my socks. And I've knit some other socks and they are feel like this, a more rustic yarn, and actually I prefer that to socks than merino. Merino makes my feet really sweaty, but I think they'll be nice for the winter in my docks. So yeah, really pleased with that. So it was a lovely yarn shop. It was just lovely to get away and just see the sights and just people watch. I like to sit and have a beer and watch people and what they dress like, and yeah, it was really good. And I didn't want to come home, but I said that when we went to Port Isaac. I didn't want to come home either, to the washing and that, the cooking food and that, everything else. So yeah, I bought that. I'm just looking at my notes. Yeah, and that's it. There's nothing. I've got a few videos of me knitting by the canal at Bristol, so I shall put those in the end of this video. And I'd just like to say also a big thank you and hello to, I think I had one new subscriber last week, so hello and welcome. This video is coming out a little bit later this week. It's just been really, it's been like since Monday something has happened. So my daughter also had her feet measured at school on Tuesday, and she's gone up a whole shoe size since end of February when she got her new insoles. So me and my husband went into town yesterday to buy her size 1 shoes. Managed to do that, but the bit of an issue you've got is the insoles are measuring for a 13 shoe. So when she puts her foot in a size 1, it's the correct shoe size for her, but the insole's too small, so I think her foot is going, her toe is going over the insole, because she kept saying, take it off. She is limited speech, so when she tells me to take something off, it obviously means, she's telling me it's hurting, and she doesn't normally communicate like that. So I was like, no, it'll be all right, Annabelle. But the thing is, her trainers are now too small for her, so she either has too smaller shoes or too big, or just wear her school shoes. I'm hoping that her school shoes will be all right today at school. So yeah, today's the only chance I've had to sit and do a podcast. So that's a lot of whips and a lot of stuff going on. So I will put out another podcast next week. It is half term, so I might have to go up into my daughter's room and do a quick podcast up there. But I will get one out next week as well. I'm getting a lot of thumbs up, which is really good. So if you've made it to the end of the video, then please do a yarn ball, just to say that you've got to the end of the video, so I know if you've watched all of it. I hope you have a nice half term, if you've got children, of course, and I hope you get a lot of crafting done. So happy knitting, everybody, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.